Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of the Welker Farms Inc. map. This is Farming Simulator 17. I don't know if you've seen my video on it or not. If not, you might want to go and check it out. But I do have a video that I put up about the release date of Farming Simulator 19. I would suggest going and checking that out. Its release date is in the video, as well as a little bit more information that was shared on their Discord channel for Giants software. So there's that you can check out. But right now, we've already got fields 21 and 22 over on the right hand side of the map. They were both one field now. They were both plowed into one field. They've been planted with wheat. We are planting wheat in this field, but since I have a much larger sower this time, I am going to need more seed. Now the large containers that I got, the placeables, let me pull those up real quick. They are all the way back here. I could not get the large placeables to work. The only ones that would work, the only thing that will work to fill that particular sower are the pallets. So I'm using this trailer. It's an auto-loading trailer. And we are coming back here to the shop. This trailer and this truck are a mod that you can get. But I use the truck because it's very cheap. There's actually two versions of it. There is the one for forestry, which is this one here. And on the back of it has a claw that you can use. This one is the one that I have right now. Both of them you can upgrade the horsepower to 900 horsepower from the base 700 for only $5,000. That's a good deal, so I went ahead and did that. We have gotten much further in debt, but it has been worth it. We've got larger equipment. We're able to do the fields quicker and get them sown. In fact, we're actually in the following year. As you see, I had to start all over again with the new year. So I sped through winter and everything just so that we could get back to the sowing season for the crops that we're going to be doing. Right now, we're only doing wheat. I was going to do wheat and barley, but on the larger field, I messed up. And I think I'm sowing them both the same. But that's okay, because whatever we don't use, we can sell. So there's no big deal there. We could always use the extra money. Let's see, work position, pallets. And then just loads them up for us. What were those? Those were seed, right? Yeah, those were the seed. Okay. So I will get one more thing of seed. There we go. Okay, now we have the full truckload, and we can take that back. And so after I take it back, I'm going to load it up in the seeder and then do a bit more sowing of the field, field number 2, which is the one beside our farm. Well, wrapped around our farm actually. So I will see you back in a little bit. And we are back. It took 5 of those pallets of seeds to fill it up, and we actually got it a little less than 100%. I think it was about 92 or 93% is where it was, with 5 of those pallets. So yeah, it takes a lot of seed to fill this thing up. But as you can see, it has a much bigger bite than what the last one did. The one that came with the game didn't have nearly this big a bite. Now I'm dividing the field here so that I can hire a worker. Let me turn this GPS 90 degrees, and then I'll line up for the worker to start. This just helps me get lined up easily. There we go. And so we have a worker on that. Oop, actually, let me hop in here. Let me stop them. Forgot to fold this arm up. There we go. Now it looks better. Okay, now we can get that worker back. Okay, we have some vehicles put up. But as you can see here, we still have 5 of these left over. So I'm going to leave them there because I'll most likely need to reseed. The reason is, if you look at what we've done here, fields 21 and 22 were completed using one fill. Then we got all that you see here, that width there, and what little bit I did here, and that was it. Before it ran out. So we're definitely going to have to refill it at least one more time to finish up the rest of this field. Well, you can see right here how much I got done. It was this one path I just made here, and then what is being worked on now was with the new fill. But these 2 fields here put together and all of this here, we're done in just one fill, so most likely it's going to have to be filled again before I finish. Plus, I don't like leaving them put in storage without being filled, so yeah, I'm going to want to fill it up again. That's just my personal pet peeve. Now the Glass S01E05, we do have 2 of those now. I've sold our other tractors, and I ended up getting a cheaper tractor here. This one's cheaper for how much horsepower, so I could have something to run the front loader because these cannot run it. This is our orange military truck. It's just, you know, the generic coloring here. Our harvester, I'm thinking about changing that out once we get the money for it. There's our larger trailer. We've sold the other one. We have the bucket. I don't know why. I guess in case you spill something. I guess that's the only reason we have a bucket on this map. Otherwise, there's really no need for it. The bucket came with the map. We bought the pallet fork for the fertilizer and seed. This is the sprayer that came with it. It's not as big as the Brute, the big Brute, but it works fine. I don't need the big Brute just yet. Big Brute is a whole lot more money. Let me see, this is a 35-foot header for the harvester. We have our big baler for square bales. The large plow that I purchased, this one requires a vehicle or a tractor with a lot of horsepower, which is why excuse me, I got the 2 larger tractors. This is our auto loading, universal auto loading. It can not only load pallets, but it can also load bales for me if I wanted to, which is why I got it. Then we have this. This is our, I think that's a sower. Yeah, I've got two sowers. I've got this one, which we're using now, and then I've got this one here. This one here is for sowing corn, sunflower, things like that. I'll need a separate header if I want to do something like sunflower. I'd like to do that, but I'll need a different header to attach to my harvester. So I'm not doing anything like that yet. That way I don't have to worry about purchasing two headers. This is the cultivator that came with the map. I'm perfectly fine with it. I've got no problem using it. It's actually in storage right now. And then the front loader. This is a seeder that we're using now, one bin for seed, one for fertilizer, but you don't have to sit here and switch this between the two containers. You just whip it out and it autofills whichever one it needs to. So that's good. Okay, so I'll show you where I've got some of the stuff put up while I've got the worker working in there. I have in here one of the large class tractors. Here's the baler, my cultivator, and the sower. And I know I'm putting this stuff up while it's dirty. As I mentioned before, I don't want to get the little bitty sprayer. I want to get the thing that you pull into, drive through. And I'm thinking about putting it out here, probably about right here, facing that way. Then all I've got to do is pull into it from this direction, have the equipment cleaned, and then drive through and put it up. I have the harvester over here. Now this tractor is going to go in there. I don't have anything that will actually fit in here, so I just threw the bucket in here since I don't need the bucket anyways. I still can't figure out why they have a bucket in this game. And then the military grade truck, the semi, that's going to be backed in here to be stored. And I got rid of the pickup truck. I got rid of the little bitty trailer that I did get a little bitty trailer with it that I was going to try and haul the seed and fertilizer on, but it would only hold like 3 of them at a time, and you couldn't even strap them down. So that trailer's history. Here's an auto loading trailer I was telling you about that I've got. It's a really nice trailer. I like it. You can also decide which side you want the stuff dropped out on. You can drop it out on one side or the other, or the center. I think in the center, I think it comes out at back, but it stacks everything neatly side by side. But I'm gonna leave this here for now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing up because I don't need it for a while. I've got some more fertilizer in the back. It's only a few containers, but you don't use nearly as much fertilizer as you do the seed. So we'll just go ahead and back this all the way back in case we decide to bring something else in. Okay. So we've got everything squared away now. Again, it's a slow map because all you have is just large fields to do. It takes a lot of time to do them. This map I mentioned before is better for multiplayer, but for single player, even if you're not using the seasons mod, this map is really probably one of the easiest maps that I've been to, that I've used. It is one of the easiest maps to use. It just takes a lot more time. The reason I said it's one of the easiest ones is, you start out, you don't have animals, can't get animals in this one. The screen for the animals is even blank. There's nothing here. You can't buy animals. As far as what you can sell, if you look, it's very limited on what you can sell. In fact, hay, silage, things like that, I mean, you get nothing for it. I don't know how the prices can be going up and down because they're at 0. I don't know, maybe if you take it there, you have to start paying them if this goes any lower. But yeah, it's interesting. One of the things that I'm wanting to do is, I mentioned it before, is to bale the straw. And since I can't sell it on this map, I will use my other playthrough on Goldcrest Valley that I'm doing, and I will sell them to that map, to my farm on that map from this one. So even though there's no pricing here, I can still mod in the money. And that way it'll help to make some more money on this one. I've got the header sitting here, so all I have to do is pull straight out of there to connect to it. This trailer got hit by accident, got kicked around, but this is my large trailer that I use for this. It's a dumping trailer basically. I use it for the grain. This here is the plow. It's the large one. It folds out. These sides here fold out. It folds down once, and then the center here folds out a second time to make it even longer, or wider I mean. Does that on both sides. Let me see. That is not working. None of this back here is working. But yeah, I've got the map going. It's going pretty good. It's just, yeah, there's not much you can really do on this map. Is he done? Almost. He is almost finished. Or she. Which one is it? Is it a man or a woman running this one? It's a man. So yeah, he is almost done. And I will take over and make the final pass, and then I'll take it over there. As you can see, we're going to probably need to buy some more seed soon, much sooner than I thought. Our seed's already about 45%. Was I looking at the seed or the fertilizer before? Don't remember. Okay, I can't use... Oh, that's because the computer is controlling it. Trying to figure out why I couldn't use the GPS mod. I'm gonna wait until he does the turning around for me. Now the reason that I plowed a lot on this side here at the end, see how he's turning around? If I didn't do that, he would not have been able to turn around because he kept running into stuff out there. And he'd just sit there and wait, eating up my money. I don't like that. So, we'll sell him. Or, not sell him, I'm sorry, he's on slave. We'll get rid of him. That's better. Okay. So, we're gonna finish this up. And now, I should be able to use the free cursor. There we go. Okay, right here is my seed. I was thinking I was pointing up here earlier. I may have for the fertilizer. But yeah, this is the seed down here. We're already below 42%. So we're going to need more seed soon. But it's doing pretty good. I really like the farm. I really like the map. It's really good if you don't want to have to deal with the animals. If you want a map where all you do is nothing but hop in equipment and farm, this is probably the best map for you. You can even take large maps like this starting out if you want to do multiple crops. Well, probably wasn't a good thing for me to do that. I could use this. Okay. But if you want to, you could take large maps like this and you can divide them up and do like one half of it one crop, another half of it another crop, and then the section through here third crop if you wanted to. If you just wanted to do nothing but farming, and you want to do multiple crops starting out, that's the best way I could think of to do it. But there's a lot you can do on this map, a lot of different ways you can do stuff, which is really fun. It reminds me of the Corn Belt map. The Corn Belt map is pretty much about like this. It's basically nothing but fields. Wait, actually, I think there's a section over here that needs to be taken care of. If I remember correctly. And I do, right there it is. Any of you that know me, you'll know that I'm OCD. I don't like leaving specks like that left behind. Okay. Oh, yeah, I went too fast for that turn. Everything started fishtailing on me. Now you've got to be careful driving along through these areas here between fields, because sometimes there are large rocks and boulders and they will stop you in a heartbeat. In fact, that might have been a tree that would have stopped me. Okay. So we're coming down here so we can catch this. Ooh, too sharp. Can I get that? Yeah, that should get it. Should miss that trailer. Hoping to miss the trailer. Ooh, yeah, barely. But I did miss it. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this section here. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this, and I will see you back here in just a little bit. I'm just gonna take care of this midsection, and then all I have to do is either have a worker or myself sew the other part. So I will see you soon. Okay, so we just got refilled on our seed. Our fertilizer is at 74%, so it's not going down too fast, as I mentioned before. It's mostly the seed that goes down real fast. In fact, just starting out on this one path, we've gone from 100% to, what is it, 95% it looks like? Or is that 96? I think it says 95% on just one pass. Yep, just dropped 94. So that is just on one pass. It does take up a lot of seed to do this. Okay, reset that. Excuse me. So we're going along pretty good. It looks like on this here though that I'm actually off center. The reason it looks like that is because I have it set to where I can line up from in the cab. As you can see, the red lines are actually going up and slanting down like that. The green line does the same thing, only it does it in front of my character, as you can see there. If I switch it back to how it normally is, like that, yeah. There we go. Now it's on the ground. So when I come up here, you can see that it's actually showing to be flat. So I am lined up right. It just was an optical illusion because of the angle that we had. And I missed a little bit over there. Oh wow, that was way off when I started apparently. Okay, so I have to get it. If you know me and my OCD, I have to get it. There we go. Okay, so the next thing to do after sowing this field is, well, pretty much waiting until it's time to fertilize again. The stages of fertilizer that I have, I think, are 3 stages. Yeah, over here on the right hand side. Fertilizer states are set to 3. Periodic plowing is required, which means I don't have to do it all the time. I just got through plowing, so I should be good for, I think it's 3 harvests. If you look over here, yeah, it shows here like growing, and then blue, that was from it being plowed. And see, these are purple, these were harvested, these are light blue, which were cultivated. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. I don't know why they have, probably because of how big that field is. The NPC that's running it has 2 different stages of growth on it. They've got the same stage I'm at, and then they have a darker growth. Same thing over here. So I think that might be just because of how large those fields are. Though I don't see it on this one here, or any of the others about this size. So I don't know, maybe it's just a bug in the game. But anywho, we're going to finish sowing this field. We've just got this little bit here to do. Once we're done with that, then we can get on to speeding up the clock so that we can get closer to when we need to add the next level of fertilizer. And then, let's see, I gotta switch this back. There we go. I took it off of all-wheel steering so that I could steer it better. But it doesn't turn nearly as sharp. Okay. And away we go. Alright, so I guess that this is the end of this episode. I didn't show me doing a whole lot of the work just because of how large these fields are and how much of it needs to be done. So these are basically just, I'm starting to do just update videos so that you can see it. If you would like for me to work the whole fields and then just use time lapse on it, let me know and I can do that. But it will get very, very boring if I were to do that. So I'll go ahead and end this video here. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to know how to further help out my channel, you can always check out my Patreon page. I will have the link for it in the description. So have a nice day and have fun. Happy gaming.